Hey, good morning. Sunrise continues now at 6:42. Now, you may have heard just a short time ago, a Korean company that had said it was going to come here and build a factory to make these little tiny cute cars sort of changed its mind and ran out of money and went back on its promise to do that here and in 2 states on the mainland. But I wouldn't want you to get the impression that that's the only live option we've got right now for alternative energy cars. So we've got Maria Tome here from the state program on this to tell us some of the stuff that's still on the front burner. First of all, that wasn't even the only factory plan that's being discussed.
No, there are a whole bunch of other ideas out there, and I think one of the most interesting aspects of this is that your electric vehicles can be quite simple compared to your internal combustion engine. At least that's the concept, fewer moving parts.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's a new technology, and the batteries are an extremely important part of that. And since we now have new battery technologies, all of a sudden the interest in electric vehicles has gotten extremely high. We've got 7 active auto manufacturers that have brought their cars to Hawaii,
Now, is anybody besides the Korean company interested in actually building cars here, or are they mostly interested in just selling them and making sure there's infrastructure for recharging?
There has been some talk, in the past about building cars here, but to tell you the truth, manufacturing an automobile is a fairly complex process.
Yes.
You've got all of the pieces that need to come together in a highly controlled environment, good quality. Safety is a big issue. So, to be honest, the folks that we are hearing from are planning to produce them elsewhere and to bring them here.
I'm not sure that's a bad thing, because manufacturing also can sometimes create pollution issues. The land use issues alone would be very complicated. It might be better if we just show that this is a good place to drive them, which it is, because we have so many roads on which the speed limit's not that great anyway.
Although, many of the vehicles that are coming here are full-speed electric vehicles.
Yeah,
so
I noticed one of the American manufacturers is actually talking about making sports cars now that are electric.
Yeah, and the Tesla's been on Hawaii's road for a couple of years, and that's definitely a sports car that can, do.
Are more charging stations going to be put in?
We're going to have about 600 electric vehicle charge spots in the next year at about 150 different locations. This is part of the EV Ready grant program, and that's one of the reasons that the auto manufacturers are going to continue to look at Hawaii as a good place to showcase their vehicles, because we will have EV Ready state.
Some people have been saying, well, you're not using gasoline, but you still have to have the energy, the electricity created. But from what I'm reading, it looks like one of the advantages of the cars is that you can charge them overnight when electrical consumption isn't ordinarily that great.
That's very true. And also, as we get more renewables on the grid, for example, on Maui, they've got a wind farm there that has enough excess capacity that's not being used.
Right.
They could run about 5% of their passenger vehicles on the excess energy from the wind farm at night. And so you've also got, even with Oahu's existing generation mix, you've got a much more efficient use of the energy that's going into the system, so that overall you're using at least 20% less fossil fuel to run a car on electricity now as you would on gasoline. As we get more renewables on the system, it'll get better.
It's an exciting time to be in on this and trying these new ideas. And from what I read a lot of stuff about this that's published on the mainland, and a lot of people have their eyes on Hawaii right now because they want to see how all of these things work out. We'll follow it for you, and we'll have more for you in a moment on Hawaii News Now Sunrise.